15 minutes to go and they pull that nonsense. Unbelievable. Well, what are you going to do? All right, so what we're going to do here, we're going to talk about, we got 15 minutes, guys. What we're going to do is we're going to talk, we're going to get into this a little bit. We're going to talk about you are not alone, okay? We're going to talk about that. I want people to realize, and I talk about we're all in this together. I talk about that a lot, that we're one race called the human race. I talk about that quite a bit. But you're not alone. For years and years and years, the stigma of being a prepper, doomsday preppers comes to mind, right? How were preppers portrayed in doomsday preppers? They would take these shows, people would show what they had, they were proud of their preps and all this type of stuff. And then they would break it down at the end and they would say, well, you could survive XYZ amount of time in a post event, right? That was what, they were saying, your survival time. And then they would take your one scenario that you were supposedly prepping for. And realistically, any prepper worth their salt, you're prepping for whatever is going to happen. But these shows want you to pick one thing you're prepping for. Okay. So then they would discredit you by saying, well, the chances of a Yellowstone event happening are this minuscule. And so that's not a realistic expectation. So they would try to make preppers look like they were crazy. The reality is, if you don't prep, if you are not prepared to take care of your families and stuff like that, I think that's crazy. I can't understand that thinking that you would not think ahead to take care of the people that you supposedly love and care for. That's my thing. That's my thing with that. I think it's really important that we try to watch out for each other. We try to support each other the best that we possibly can. I think it's important to network. I think it's important to work together, make those connections. I'm going to tell you what, I have been very, very, very blessed with being on YouTube. I have met some absolutely fantastic people, and I'm really lucky from that aspect. Now, I've had to deal with some, a-holes, of course, but that's part of it. It's what you deal with. But honestly, the good people have outweighed the jerks unbelievably. There is just some absolutely fantastic people. I talk to people all the time. I love talking with people. I will talk prepping 24/7. Heather used to be like, she would stand there and be like, oh God, here he goes again. But I love it. This is what I do. This is what I eat, live, and breathe. This is my lifestyle, and it's going to continue to be my lifestyle. I have a lot of plans. I have no intention of slowing down. I have a lot of things that I want to accomplish and get done here. And then again, like I said, I want a second property at some point. And, and I'll play there. I'll play there in the winter. I'll get away from this cold nastiness of New York in the winter, and I will have a second bug out location, and that's where I'll go, for the wintertime. And, but it's just a matter of, if you can do what you love, you never work a day in your life. And so for all the years that I did nursing, it was absolutely fantastic. And I was very, very fortunate, and I loved what I did. Hey, nose picking. Trump's trial jurors are all victims of the assault. Sounds fair to me. Guess which way this is going. Yeah, but you know what? It's like they got to vote. They got to get enough Republicans to cross over to impeach him. And it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I appreciate you, the statement, and thank you very much for the donation. This whole thing with that is it's a grandstanding, it's games, it's politics, it's a waste of taxpayers' money. They're not going to get the impeachment, and he's already gone. He's already gone. So it's just it's ridiculous. So basically, what somebody said, well, they're going to try to make it so he can never run again. That's what they're trying to do. But they're not going to get this enough Republican support to cross over to get the impeachment. So he's going to be acquitted again. So this whole grandstanding nonsense, once again, complete waste of time, waste of taxpayers' dollars. and they're wasting time where they could be working on other things that are much, much more important. There's a lot bigger fish to fry. There's a lot bigger, more important things going on that they need to take care of. I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to give you my opinion. Do I think Trump will run again in 4 years? No, I do not. I don't think he will. Why would you put yourself through that again? Why would you do that? So I don't think he will. I don't think he'll run again. Okay, that's my opinion. Okay. YouTube not liking Ed because he speaks the truth. Yeah, apparently, I'm sorry that I'm going to encourage you to be as independent as possible. What a horrible thing for me to want to do. Hey, Seth, the fake show must go on. Oh, yeah, and a manipulation and the continued screwing of the American, hardworking people. Middle class America, that's who pays at the end of the day. It's not the rich. The rich don't pay, and the poor don't pay. Middle class America pays. And that's always the way it's been. It's always the way it will be. And that's unfortunate, but that's the truth. So, but, again, continue to get ready as much as you can, prep as much as you can, pay attention to what's going on. Always pay attention to what's going on. Like, okay, so I wanted to touch on this. I went on vacation in January. Okay, I go to vacation pretty much every January. I try to now. Last couple of years, we've gone in January. Try to get out of Dodge, get away from the New York weather. And people had said to me, "Oh my God, I can't believe," and it just happened to fall when the inauguration wasn't all that. Okay, people said, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're away from the homestead and your bug out location at this time." I had options. I had places to go. I knew people that I could go to if something went down, if things went bad. I had options to go to. So that's something that you got to think about too. Even with planning a vacation, you better have an idea, have a game plan. Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? To where can I go where I can be safe? Because trying to drive back home, you know, that many hours, in a chaotic event world, would not have been realistic. It would not have been. So I would have probably had to try to get someplace where I could be safe and then go from there. That's the reality. But again, you can't stop living your life. You can't put your life on hold because you're living in fear all the time. You have to look at things and you go, okay, what am I going to do? Where am I going to go? What's my game plan? Always have a plan. You've got to have a plan. You know, what am I going to do in this situation? How am I going to handle it? Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? And that's how you go. But again, you know, if your family's decent, and if let's say your family's a total crap and your family is horrible, okay, you probably have friends. Most people do. I would hope. Um, Friends sometimes can be tighter than family. They really can be. And if you can work with them and live with them and support each other, it always amazed me, and I used to think about this a lot. I said, if we could put together, let's say, four families, okay, and the the Asian people do this, okay, and they do it all the time. You see all the okay, so the Chinese restaurants and stuff like that. We're going to use that as an example. So what'll happen is the family comes over, aunts, uncles, brothers and sisters. They all work in the restaurant. They'll work 16 hours a day. Then they all go and they all live in the same house. They take any money that they're making. They pay off the house. They pay off the restaurant, and they work together for the greater good of the family. And then as they become more successful and make more money, then maybe they buy another house. But that's how they do it. They work together, they pay off that debt, they get rid of that debt so that they're not living under the thumb of somebody else all the time. If you could get 4 or 5 families to work together and pool their money together, support each other. Okay, we're going to build this first, and we build that first, and then you're living there and you're doing what you. Maybe that's a pipe dream in my mind. I don't know. I don't think so, but I think it's a reality of something that could happen. If you have a piece of property, and you even if you have to do it legally, where like you cannot be kicked off the property or whatever. You get it all in writing, so it's all above board and everybody's agreeable to the terms of everything. It's just like people, like people say, well, what about your sister? Your sister's got her building on your property. Something happens to me and I die. Let's just say, there's an accident and I die. My property goes to my children. But my daughter knows that Aunt Becky and mom have lifelong use of being here. So she can't sell this property until after they're dead and gone. Now, does that put a hamstring on her? No, because then at that point, any taxes that are due for the property, mom and Becky would be responsible for because they live here. That's called planning it out ahead of time, putting all your ducks in a row so that you're protecting the people that you care about. Because let's say I didn't do that, right? Let's say I didn't do that. I die, then Heather goes, screw grandma, screw Aunt Becky, get the hell off my property. I'm selling it. And there's nothing that they could do. And they couldn't take the building with them because it's on the property, right? So again, you plan things out to protect the people that you care about. Now, I'm going to tell you what, Heather would never do that. Heather would never do that. She'll go by my wishes. Hey, Seth, it's minus 3 degrees Fahrenheit here right now. I don't get the give a F who the president is. Get it? Yeah, I hear you. At the end of the day, thank you very much for that donate. Actually, let me tell you where I'm at right now here. Hold on a second. I'll tell you where my temperature's at. It is saying 11, but let me just look at, hold on a second. Let me do this real quick and see. Because it was saying 11 earlier. Yeah, it's saying 11 right now here. That's in town. Again, 6 degree difference, 7 degrees in that range. So we're probably about 4 right now. But that's that happens. But anyway, what are we at? 9:17. Obviously, we're gonna go over again, but that's okay. I don't care. So, but yeah, single digits are chilly. It's definitely chilly here too. It is what it is. We just have to deal with it. Guys, what are we at? 588 in the chat. We're at 214 on the thumbs up. I'm going to ask real quick here again. If you have not shot a thumbs up, I would ask you to do that, please, to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. I do appreciate it. Also, it really does help with the algorithm. So the more interaction that we have, the better for the channel that way as well. So thank you for that reason as well. Again, and then the third reason, I like to see a lot of thumbs up. So I would thank you for that reason as well. Again, if you're not subscribed, I would ask you to subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. As far as whoever's in office, as far as the politicians goes, at the end of the day, Democrat, Republican, two feathers of the same bird, two sides of the same coin. Their job is to screw you out of everything that they possibly can. I don't care what side you're on. I don't care if you're a Democrat or Republican. They're going to screw you. You're going to pay at the end of the day. You're going to pay in taxes. They're going to increase this, that, and the other thing. And it happens constantly. And we sit here and think, oh, well, if we vote this party in, it'll be different. No, if we vote this party in, it'll be different. It's never different. It's never different. They will always screw you at the end of the day. Okay. And the more people that they can make reliant on the system, meaning the government, right? The more people that they can get reliant on the system, it's less likely chance of people rising up and saying, I've had enough. Why? Because they don't want to get off the government tit. They don't want to. So why would you bite the hand that feeds you? They don't want to. So the more people that they can get dependent on the government, it puts them in more control. And that's what they're trying to do right now. They want more and more control. They don't want you to be independent. I want you to be independent. I want you to be self-reliant. I want you to be able to rely on yourself. Be as independent as you can. I'm going to tell you what. There is a mass exodus out of cities happening. A lot of people, this whole thing that happened was a wake-up call. Excuse me. Was a wake-up call for a lot of people with this whole virus thing. A lot of people woke up and went, man, we're not in a good spot. We need to get out of Dodge. And so you've seen more rural areas. People are getting out of Dodge. They're getting out of states like California and New York, high taxes and all that type of stuff. And they're getting someplace else. And they want to go someplace where they can be, more independent and more free and have peace of mind and not live in fear. So you're seeing that. So you're seeing the prices of properties just go through the roof for people trying to buy something. It's crazy. It's crazy how much, things have gotten to. So watch Ice Age Farmer. They're really trying to control our food supply and ability to grow food. Backdoor stuff not talked about. Yeah, and exactly. And there's another thing. One of the things that Biden has done, he's screwing the farmers. I mean, big time screwing the farmers. And that's not right either. Hey, Seth, the Discovery Channel is going to buy you. I hope you know that. They will chew you up and spit you out. I'm going to tell you what, and I talked about this with my family. Okay, so anybody, if you haven't heard yet, they plan on having me on the Discovery Channel. And if they paint me in a bad light, they paint me in a bad light. That's what it is. But if I can have people come over and see the channel, they're going to see what it's all about. I mean, I got all these years of videos from the journey and what we've done and everything else. So to me, it's like, it's whatever. There's that old saying, there's no such thing as bad publicity. So if they paint me in a bad light and people say, well, God, this guy's a nut job, let me check him out. And they come over to the channel and they check me out, they're going to see that I'm not a nut job. They're going to see that. So if the Discovery Channel does that, they do that. You know what I mean? But I'm going to try to, yeah, it's going to be like Doomsday Preppers. And again, it's one of those, okay, so what they want me to do, they want me to pick a scenario, right? And I told them, well, I prep for anything. Well, the premise of the show, so we have more talking to do with that as far as that goes. But again, we're going to see how it goes. And I'm kind of playing that by ear. And if it gets to a point where I decide that it's not acceptable, then I'm not going to do it. That's what it'll end up being. If there's something that I don't like or what they're trying to do, then I'm not going to do it. So we'll see what happens with all that. But everything's been delayed right now because of the weather, coronavirus, and stuff like that. So now they're talking. They were actually, guys, I'll tell you right now, they wanted to come out next week. And I wrote them back and I'm like, listen, that's just not realistic. It's just not realistic. I did the egg count earlier. We had 4 eggs today. Hey, TRW. It has been a few since I've watched you. Keep up the good work. Thanks for doing what you do. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And thank you very much for the donation. Yeah, I don't deviate too much. I'm pretty consistent. I try to be positive. I try to show people, being honest. I think that's the thing is if it comes through and you're honest, I think that's important. I'm not going to BS you. I want you guys not to be victims. That's my most important thing. If you're not victims, then that's a good thing. The less victims we have out there, it's the less people out there trying to hurt other people, trying to take from other people. If you can be as ready as you can, and it gives you that, they want to catch you off guard at. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Well, who knows? But we need a TV show that only does egg counts. Oh my God, that's funny. That is funny. I'm thinking soon. I may start incubating. I may start because it takes like 21 days for chicks. So I think like I said, I have those 2 incubators, and I think that I'm going to incubate and make some more baby chickens. Oh, I got to tell you this really quickly. This is kind of so my separated chicken today, right? So I go in there, and her feathers are growing back, starting to grow back nicely. And so I was giving bread out. So I gave her some bread over here. And then I went into the main coop and I was giving bread out there. Well, she ran into the main coop, right? And I thought, well, she should be okay. So 2 hours later, I go out there and I'm checking for eggs. And they tore her up. I mean, they tore her up. And I'm like, oh my God. So I had to go back in there and I grabbed her again and I put her back. All those feathers that she was growing back, all gone. All gone. They were pecking at her again. I'm just like, this freaking poor chicken. So I'm going to very diligently keep her away from them until she's completely, because I thought, well, maybe she'll be okay. Well, no, she wasn't. So unfortunately, she got attacked again, and so I have to keep her separated, and I'm just going to keep her away from them. I'm just going to have to. Unfortunately, but that's how chickens are. They're vicious. Chickens are vicious. They have no mercy, none. But uh, hold on a second. Tell them you're prepping for a job loss. Yeah. Well, it's true. You just never know what's gonna. Like I said, we'll see what's gonna happen with that show. We'll cross that bridge when we get there, because we gotta do all the dotting the i's and crossing the t's and all that type of stuff. So they're not putting me in a bad light. So one of the things, okay, so we'll talk about this real quick. So they were like, they had their list of things that they wanted. And of course, one of the things that they wanted to know, like with guns and stuff. And I told them right in the very beginning, listen, I said, if you watch my channel, I've been on forever and a day. I have over 3,000 videos up. I said, you will never see a gun on my video. I will not talk about guns at all. I will not show guns at all. That's not going to happen. That's not what I'm about. Now, I said, do I have them? Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Okay. But that's not what it's going to be about. So I put that out there right in the very beginning. So, however, they take that, that's how they take it. But yeah, it's not about trying to paint me into a corner and make me look like some lunatic that lives up in the mountains and waiting for the end of the world to happen. That's not what it's going to be about. So we'll see how it goes. But anyway, so let's do this really quickly, guys, because we're obviously going farther than normal. Freaking YouTube, man, it killed me with that stuff. But anyway, let's do this. Let's do We Are Legion really quickly. Again, I'm going to ask for another thumbs up. We're up to 668 in the chat. We're at 316 on a thumbs up. So let's shoot that thumbs up to show support for the channel. But I had time for the chicken, bully stew. Yeah, I know. It's just chickens are brutal. Chickens are absolutely brutal. So where's everybody from tonight? Where's all my prepper nation? Where's everybody, the legion of preppers that we are? We have Utah, Christmas Valley, Oregon, Scottsboro, Alabama. Let's see. Tennessee, Cape Cod, Oshawa, Ontario, Canada, California in the desert, Lancaster, Ohio, Melbourne, Australia, Oregon, Edgewater, Florida, Connecticut, Wyoming, London, Fort Myers, Florida, Montreal, Canada, Indiana, Nova Scotia, New Zealand, Ulster Park, New York, Connecticut, Eastern Oregon, Texas, Kansas, Central Missouri, Long Island, New York, New Jersey, Northern Illinois, London, Kansas, Missouri and the Ozarks, Buffington, South Carolina, Beech Grove, Indiana, South Africa, living in Virginia, very nice, Canandaigua, New York, Austin, Texas, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Minnesota, Morgan County, Ohio, Western Maryland, New Mexico. Let's see, we have Brookings, Oregon on the coast, Oklahoma, New Mexico, Salem, Ohio, Hollywood, Florida, Morgan County, Ohio, Pennsylvania in the mountains, Peoria, Alamo City. Let's see, we have Nevada, the Tri-Cities in Washington. Let's see, Eastern Long Island, Tennessee again. Hey, Seth, chickens have no mercy, neither do people. You're right about that. You are right about that, and thank you for the donation. Endicott, New York, Pennsylvania, Cincinnati, Ohio, New Jersey, Gatlin, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Hollyweird, California. I love that. Eastern Long Island again, Central Kentucky. We have Eastern Montana, Pennsylvania, San Diego, California, Nowhere, Oklahoma. Still my favorite. Love that. Florida, Central East Coast. Gettysburg, Pennsylvania. Beautiful. Been down there. Very, very eerie and ominous down there. It's wild. Pittsburgh, Kansas. Hudson, Florida. Let's see. Upstate New York, Montana. Troy, Vermont. Georgia. Norwalk, California, Washington, Northern Vermont, Alabama. So all over the place. We're a huge family. We're a huge network of people. We are absolutely all over the country, all over the world. Real quick, I want to talk about a couple other prepper channels. Obviously, Bizza Jizza. Talked about that in the last stream before that one got interrupted. He's got his series going, an EMP event. JJ, if you would throw that link up there again one more time, I would appreciate it. Uh, Great channel. Go show him some support. Watch that series. A lot of good information. It's definitely good. He's doing a great job on that series. Also, guys, Marfugal News is another great channel. He's out on the West Coast. He's actually up in Seattle. Show him some support too. Tell him Prepper Nurse One sent you. Good channel as well. A lot of great channels out there. Angry Prepper down in New York City. The Alaskan Prepper. There's just so many channels out there. I could go on and on. Doug and Stacy, Boss of the Swamp. Wrangle Star is another one, like his channel as well. So there's a lot of great channels out there. Go check them out. Tell them Prepper Nurse One sent you over, and show them some love, because there's a lot of really good channels, a lot of great information out there. So definitely do that. Okay. So anyway, let's do this. Let's close this down for the night. We are Legion because we are many. We're all over the country, all over the world. We're a huge family, huge network of people. We are one race called the human race, and that's what we need to remember. And I think a lot of people lose sight of that. Okay, they really do. It's not about race and religion. That's perpetuated by the government and big business to keep us fighting amongst each other. So we will never focus on the true problem, which is big business and the government. Okay, let's work together. Let's really do that. So also remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really important that we tell the people that we care about every single day how we feel. Lastly, but not least, STD, step, thing, and day. One step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only person that will stop you from reaching your goals is you. Nobody else can stop you. Stay positive, stay away from negativity, and you're going to be just fine. Set your goals, make them happen. But lastly, but not least, just keep prepping, keep getting ready. Don't be victims. That's what if nothing else, don't be victims. Okay. I will see you all tomorrow. I hope everybody's having a great day. Be safe this weekend. And I will see you all later. Prepper Nurse One out for now.